How's it going? Mike Neumann here with NaturalBodybuildingRadio.com. You run into anybody and everybody at these shows. I mean, there's a lot of top pros here, IFPA, NWNBF, a lot of former competitors, a lot of promoters in town, because like I said, this is the biggest NAMBF show in the entire nation, and it happens to be right here in University Park, Illinois. So you're going to run into a lot of familiar faces here, and today I got John Hansen with me. He's my co-host of NaturalBodybuildingRadio.com. I've actually known John on a personal level for a few years, and he's just such a down-to-earth guy. I got along with him really fast, but I've known who he was since I was about 16 years old. I'm 33 years old now, but I followed the sport hardcore since I've been about 16 years old, and I've always knew who the top names were, and John Hansen was always at the top of natural bodybuilding, so I've known him for a long time. I met him first back in 1995, I think it was. He was guest posing to the show, did a seminar at a YMCA, and I was just glad to ask him a question. And over the last few years, he's seen me at shows expediting. I expedite his shows now, and about 5 weeks ago, he asked me to co-host the show with him. It was his show for the last couple of years. Now I'm co-hosting it with him every week, every Wednesday. We have a new guest, and it's usually a top dog in the natural bodybuilding circuit. So let's talk to John a little bit about the show. John Hansen, how's it going?
What's up, Mike?
Good to see you.
I want to thank the judges.
Yeah, that's a good one. He's a little bit of a comedian too at times, you know. So John, what made you want to come up with this radio show a couple of years back?
Well, Dave Depew was the producer of the show.
Yeah.
He had me on his show a couple times.
Okay.
When my book came out, I think in '04, the last time I competed, and then when my book came out in '05. And then he just asked me last year if I wanted to do a show. So
yeah.
Why not?
He said, let's do it then. So
yeah,
the opportunity was presented.
Bodybuilding needs a radio show.
It needs a voice, and
right.
I think we've been doing a really good job, and we've been getting some good guests.
I think so.
And you know, I got to work on my skills a little bit, but I got to catch up to you. But I'll get there eventually. So I'm working on it.
Good.
And you've been promoting a couple of shows a year lately too, huh? How's that going for you?
Yeah, I do the ABA, IMDA shows, Natural North America, and Natural Illinois.
And those are held in what times of the year?
Illinois is held in April.
Okay.
Usually like the second, third week in April, and then the North America is usually the first week in August.
And those are both in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and Romeoville, Illinois. For those of you interested,
right.
John usually runs a pretty smooth show. In fact, I'm expediting the shows most of the time, so that's a guarantee of their smoothly run shows.
Right.
Okay. And how do you like promoting shows as compared to competing in the shows?
Well, it's totally different, you know. I mean, competing was you're just focused on yourself.
Yeah.
And then when you're promoting a show, you're concerned with everything. You know, you're running around like crazy and making sure everything goes right with the audience. And you know, my goal as a promoter, you know, I've been going to shows since I was like 14 years old, 13, 14 years old, and I competed for like 25 years.
Yeah.
So my goal as a promoter is I want to do a good show for the athletes because I know what it's like to compete as an athlete for 25 years.
Okay.
But I also want to do a good show for the audience. You know, I want to make it entertaining. And sometimes it's hard for the bodybuilding show to make it entertaining, but we want to. That's why I try and bring in other things like we bring in good guest posers, or we'll bring in like salsa dancers.
Yeah.
We'll bring in any kind of entertainment for the audience. You know, just to keep the show going, keep it entertaining, keep it exciting, and that's my goal as a promoter.
Okay, now you've had quite the extensive competitive background. You've been consistently competing for 25 years, like you said.
Right.
You've done a lot of national level shows, Natural Universe, Natural Mr. Olympia you've done and won. What are some of your greatest memories in your competitive career?
Well, you know, they always say your first victory is the best. So when I won my first victory, which was the NPC Illinois State, I won that at 23 years old. I had never won anything before that. I won my class as a teenager in the Teenage Midwest Open, but I did 10 teenage shows. I never won the overall. So it was like I wanted to be a pro bodybuilder at the time, and I had to be a pro bodybuilder. So that was like a do or die show, and I really trained like crazy. Like my life depended on it. And I won the overall, and it was probably like one of the best nights of my life. You know?
Yeah.
So that always stands out. And then of course winning the Natural Universe was great, and then winning it again, and then of course the first Natural Olympia in Greece was really awesome.
Yeah, I could imagine winning Mr. Illinois in your own backyard in front of all your friends and family. That must have been one of the greatest nights, I would imagine.
Right.
Any low points of your career that you'd like to forget about?
Oh yeah, there's many. You know, I mean, if you miss your peak in a show, you know, and you come in way off. I mean, with me, it was usually I was way on or way off. You know, there's no in between.
Right.
So I was always a big guy competing, and my thing was I always had to be conditioned. You know, so as long as I came in conditioned with my size, I would usually win. But if I came in off or I came in flat, you know, when a bodybuilder comes in flat, he looks smooth.
Okay.
You know, so that's happened a few times. You know, I mean, the first year when I tore my bicep back in 2000, I came back in 2001, and things were going really well, but the show was in Hawaii, and then toward the end, when I got to the show, I just sort of flattened out, and I looked terrible. You know, so
Go figure.
That was it, yeah.
Okay, so if people are interested in your book and your DVD, where can they go? What website?
NaturalOlympia.com.
Okay, and check us out, naturalbodybuildingradio.com in the future, and watch for us. Thanks for watching. All right, good.